You know, all month long, we've been going back and looking at the worst movies of the previous year, and almost every single one of these reaction videos we've done have been pegged as not suitable for advertisers, and I have disputed that, and they have come back, and every single one of them has been declared okay for advertisers. I'm not even gonna bother with this one.
Yeah.
We are talking about 50 Shades Darker, the sequel to 50 Shades Grey, which was my worst film of 2015. So it seemed appropriate that this was the way that we go out with the 2017 edition of the Gauntlet of Garbage, which is what we do every single January, where we go back and we look at all the films that everyone called the worst of the year and we watch them all back to back to back to back to back. This is it. We're finally done, which means that after this video comes out, I will have the official 10 worst movies of the year list ready and set to go. And we were saving this one for the last because I was like, this has to be the worst of the year. It's gotta be. I mean, the first one was so insulting and offensive on so many layers. I can't imagine this one not being that. It's not good.
No.
But it's not as bad as the first one.
Yeah, like,
because there's nothing fucking in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same shit as in the first movie. It's like boring sex scenes, like a lot of abusive relationship bullshit.
Man, here's the thing. So many people keep looking at these films and trying to defend them by saying, hey man, it's for, it's for women out there. It's sex fantasy stuff for women. But the thing is, the sex is bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And I don't mean that in like a oh, well, I don't approve of BDSM, so I think that all BDSM is bad. It's like, no, do whatever you want to do, whatever floats your own boat, but dear God, this is just bad sex. It's so boring and bland and vanilla. And they're like, oh, it's so kinky. Oh,
it's like kinky fuckery, I believe was the
That was the exact term that they used in this thing. Yeah, I know. I was just like, dude, I have just found weirder shit online, just drunk on a Saturday night while I'm editing. I just need something on in the background. I was like, oh God, maybe I'll find something interesting. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird and different. Just randomly not even searching for shit.
Yeah, like seriously, there's like way more fucked up shit on the internet that like...
Not even like hardcore sites.
No.
I'm talking like Tumblr.
Yeah.
Like just like... randomly, like, just go on fucking Tumblr and just type in, we've got the Overwatch leagues playing on in the background behind us because we need something to distract us from how fucking boring this game is. This movie is. Just type in fucking Overwatch and you will find kinkier shit on there than this. And that's a fucking video game, for God's sakes. Yeah, it is so just boring, bland, like, and then they fucked. Alright. The end.
It's like some things happened, but they weren't all that important.
Like, yeah, like this entire movie's like subtitle could have just been, and then they had sex. The end. Like, the closest like two kinky things they do in here is at one point he brings out anal beads, which that is a very like weird and uncomfortable. Like, they talk about anal beads in here like in a way that it's almost like hearing your parents talk about, because it's just so just like, you're the most uninteresting, boring ass motherfuckers talking about this. I don't want to hear that shit from you. Like, you somehow made this like uninteresting. How is that possible? And the other thing is he brings out a spreader bar at one point in time and it's like, alright, whatever.
Okay.
That's so like, this is the Batman of sex tools. This ain't, alright? He does not have a whole like cave of like utility belts and shit. It's like, man, it's like he just went down to like Babeland and just like went, I don't know, what's this thing? Well, take two. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Like, he just has like duplicates, like thousands like of the same sex toy.
It's a lot of repeats, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not even like the dirty, it's not even the inappropriate, like risque, like it's just the very basics.
It really is. Sorry, you might hear our dog squeaking toy in the background. It really is just basic shit. And like, again, like, man, maybe I'm just like too weird and freaky. I don't want to think of myself like that. But I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just looking at this like, you know what, maybe for like, basic ass housewives or some shit like who watch this, it is so weird and so freaky and so new.
Like basic housewives who don't know how to work the internet, so they are unaware of all the porn out there. I don't think it's just me. I think it's like anybody who has the internet should be able to like figure this shit out. Seriously.
I mean, come on, people. I am not, again, I'm not like trying to kink shame anybody on this
No.
one. I'm not coming in here and being like, oh, well, your kink is just very boring and dull, unlike my weird shit. No, I'm just coming in here and just being like, guys, if you could, don't spend 2 fucking hours of a movie talking about how crazy and weird and freaky and risque this shit is, and then have it be the most boring, bland shit imaginable. That's all we're trying to say. Like,
Yeah.
don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk. That's what this whole movie is. And
Yeah.
it's like, man, this is walking the walk for people who don't know how to walk. Like, oh man. But one of the reasons why I'm gonna get the dog's toy away from it. We can't do this.
Well, not
Be right
at least
back.
it's-
I feel weird continuing talking about this movie with this tiny dog here.
It does not feel right.
Man, she is super playful today. That's why we brought her up here. Like, she is just being crazy rambunctious.
It's like
So yeah, this
the
might.
complete opposite of this movie.
And then some shit. And then some shit when 2 people just sitting on a fucking couch talking about the movie has more stuff going on in it than the actual film. Because, listen, that's why I say this one is not as bad as the first one. Because the first one, Christian Grey is a fucking sociopath. And they keep trying to defend it like, well, I'm just damaged. And this is just my fetish.
Yeah, like
and that's how I live it out. I was like, no, dude, like, I remember after this movie came out, like, just seeing the BDSM community just, like, unite to just go, we're not like that. This man does not represent us.
Oh, I like how, like, in this movie, they defend his abusiveness because he got abused by his mom, and
No, he didn't get abused by his mom. He got
right,
abused by his mom's friend
Right.
when he was a kid.
right.
Which, again, is one of those, like, weird oversimplifications of, like, oh, okay, so because he had some horrible shit happen to him, but it's like, the mom's friend tries to defend it at one point by going, like, you don't understand. He was rambunctious. He was crazy. He needed someone to, like, do this to him. He needed a sub for him. And it was like, so he was gonna be like, what, a fucking supervillain? And you turned all of his evil towards, like, spankings? It's like, this ain't the fucking Dexter of sex toys here, people. This isn't like, you know, really Dexter is the best example because it's like, oh, this guy's gonna be a serial killer unless we can get him to kill other serial killers. Like, no, it's not like this guy was gonna go around like butchering people and then like your excuse is, oh, I was able to get him to focus all that into his weird sex dungeon. Although in the first film, if they had the Halloween music playing over him, it would have fit perfectly. Because my biggest problem with the first one is that, yeah, he is a sociopath. And an abusive sociopath at that. And he is just destroying this young girl who, by the way, is kind of a piece of shit herself.
Yeah.
She is an awful person. Just horrible. Like, I remember, like, he was such a bad character in the first film. But he did all this stuff to her, and then at the end of it, it's like, I can't believe you did that to me. And I'm like, he literally had you sign a contract that said, I will do all these things. And whenever you asked him, what is this thing? He answered in detail about what it was, and you agreed to all that shit. I'm not trying to like point the finger at her, but it's like, yeah, well, he kind of told you and you kept saying, do it. You can only be so mad at him on this one.
It's like basically both parties are at fault.
Yeah, they're both just horrible people.
Yeah, they're both horrible people.
There is no way for me to talk about this and come out like looking good. Like everything that we've said so far, you could take like 30 seconds of any part of this video and put it out of context and we would look horrible. But anyway, it's just
Whatever.
It's 50 Shades. Everything is horrible. But yeah, like, I mean, this dude, he was stalking her. He was he was like everywhere they were. She went to go and visit her mom in another state. He had no idea where her mom was or anything. And when he found out that she was leaving to visit her mom, he flipped the fuck out. It was like, how can you do this without telling me? How? Where? How do I not know? And then like when she arrives there, she goes out, not even to her mom's house, but to a random diner to have lunch with her. And then he pops up, hello, I'm Christian Grey. I'm here to talk to your daughter. I was like, so you researched where the mom lives, tracked her down to where she lives, then waited around in front of that house until they got in a car and left, and then you trailed them to the random diner. It's like, this guy was fucking insane. he is not as bad in this one.
Well, I feel like he is, but they don't focus.
That's why.
Yes.
That's exactly
They
it.
don't focus on his badness as much.
Because there was large chunks in the beginning of this in which we kept going, oh, fuck, we forgot how terrible he was in the previous
like
film.
seriously, like it opens like with an art gallery with like all of Anna's photos and everything, and like the guy in charge of the gallery is like, oh hey, someone just bought all your photos. Like, oh gee.
Hold up. You're leaving out, which yeah, at first I was like, wow, who could have bought all your photos? It's like,
all your
guess
bland,
who
boring,
fucking who?
unimportant, very generic photos, by the way.
The perfect embodiment of her. You're leaving out a very important detail. And another reason why he doesn't seem as bad in this one. Everyone else in this film is worse than him.
Oh yeah.
Because there was this friend that she had in the first film who she just friend zoned immediately. And I hate using that term, but I'm just using it for comedic effect here. But yeah, she just basically immediately just like, oh yeah, you're such a good friend. And he like loses his shit over it to the point where Christian Grey has to pop up like fucking Batman and beat the shit out of him at one point. Which, how the fuck did he know that she was going to be at this random bar that night? But that's the problem with the first film. He has an art gallery showing, and the art gallery, it's nothing but photos he took of her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, why are you doing this? He's like, I knew that if I asked you, you'd be too shy, so I just went ahead and did it. I was like,
wow, yeah.
No.
That's fucked up. That is violation of privacy.
Horrible.
Like,
yeah, that is like
I was wondering,
and he's like, yeah, right? Uh-huh. I was like, no. That's monstrous. And every single photo of her is
just very.
It is like, they're nothing but just like basic black and white with just like a single light just boop on her. It's worse than the photos you would find when you buy a frame. Mm-hmm. Like the photo that comes in the frame, it's duller than that.
Yeah.
Which perfectly captures her personality because there is zero to this character. Mm-hmm. She's one of the worst written characters. Christian Grey is a horrible person. At least he's got a fucking backstory or something to him.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but it's there. She has nothing to her. It's horrible. So yeah, I look at these photos and I was like, well, what exactly could you do with her?
Yeah.
So someone comes, so then he goes, oh, someone has bought all of your photos. Oh, can you believe it? Someone bought all these photos that I took of you and didn't ask your permission to put them up in my art gallery. I wonder who it could be. Hello, it's me, the guy you broke up with in the last film. Which we forgot that they broke up at the end of the last film.
No, I remember, like...
Oh, you did? Okay.
Like, basically, like, before, like, the art gallery, there was, like, you know, the opening credits, and, like, you see her getting, like a bouquet of roses that says, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
I just saw the flowers. I didn't even pay attention to what was written on them. Yeah, it's like, it took me a while to remember. It was like, oh, yeah, fuck, they broke up in the end of the last one.
It should have ended like that.
Yes.
But nope.
So, yeah, they were broken up. They immediately get back together, and he just comes in and goes, I'm sorry about everything. Listen, anything that you do or do not want to do, I'll gladly, like, do. It's totally up to you. You're making all the rules. And then she's like, oh, so you want a vanilla relationship? And he's like, yes, okay, fine, vanilla relationship, whatever. And then, like, it's just like a montage of them just having a boring, average relationship.
And here's the thing, she teases him.
She teases him with this, like they go to the grocery store and she picks out like vanilla flavored Ben & Jerry's ice cream, which I don't think they asked for that product placement.
No.
Haagen-Dazs is the freaky one if you want to go to Ben & Jerry, they're the nice liberal hippie beatniks. She throws him a pint of vanilla and goes, look, your new favorite flavor. And I was like, this guy is a fucking sociopath who literally, if you touch him in the wrong place, looks like he's gonna cream his pants and then choke you. Why are you teasing his ass?
Like,
this is going up to a fucking bear and slapping it with meat. It's like, oh, you can't eat that. Oh, yeah. It's like, again, I'm not like coming in here and like saying, oh, well, you know, she should be more careful about this kind of thing. It's like, no, fucking dump his ass. Don't tease him. He's a fucking monster. You should know this by now. And
she should, but she doesn't.
This is going up to like fucking Jason Voorhees and going, oh, look at all these brochures for Camp Crystal Lake. Oh, ha ha ha. Isn't that funny? It's like, He's a monster. He will kill you.
Like, the worst is, like, the cooking scene. Like, she was, like, bending over, like, the counter with her ass in the air.
Oh, I thought
just,
that-
like,
I didn't think she
rubbing
was-
up against him. And,
I didn't think she was doing that on purpose. I thought
I'm pretty sure she was.
Oh, okay. Again, this is not like, I really do not want this to feel like some kind of like victim blaming thing.
No.
Not at all.
Like we said before, both parties are shitheads. And
Yes.
like,
I really do not want to make this seem like it's some kind of a like, well, you should know better than to be wearing that outfit. No, that's fucking
No,
bullshit. Anything
no.
like that. But this film, it is like, no, he's a fucking serial killer. You should dump him. Instead, you're teasing him about what a serial killer he is. This is stupid. But then like, again, that lasts for like, I don't know, like another like 10 minutes of just them doing boring relationship
and then
shit.
it's like, oh, back to the kinky
And then they
stuff.
decide to just start having sex again, and like, I can't even like tell, did she like discuss like, she does like, okay, fine, we'll do this. I know there's a scene in there where like, they're about to do it, and he's like, no, I can't. And so he has her draw on his chest, like an outline with lipstick of where she cannot touch.
Yeah.
Or else, like, apparently he'll just go berserk. Which,
like-
again, that's a big fucking warning sign. This dude is a fucking serial killer, and he's not only, like, given her countless signs of this, he now even goes up to her and goes, okay, I'm literally going to place lines on me that are the do not press or I will murder you button. Why are you still in this fucking relationship? There's no reason for it. And so, but then after that, like, even after he, like, establishes this, he then immediately has her, like, shove anal beads up her butt, and I was like,
It's like,
what the fuck was in the contract that you weren't okay with? That, like, even now it's like, okay, this is the vanilla relationship. Up my butt. And I'm like, alright.
up her butt.
Yeah, it's...
It's like, apparently, like, he's so concerned about his boundaries, but doesn't seem to give a fuck about hers.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's like, I can... Because that's part of this, is that he treats her so much like just a tool, like an object.
Yes.
And so this is like him going, no, if you touch me here, then I won't be able to control myself. By the way, I'm going to, from a distance, do all kinds of weird freaky shit to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this became like a running joke for us after he put the anal beads up there. Because they then go to a party that his parents are throwing.
Yeah, like a charity event.
And like halfway through it, we realized she still has those up her butt. Because there's a moment when she's sitting in a chair at the charity event, and then he goes, now you know what the beads are for. And we're like, they're still there?
Yeah, he specifically told her to, like, wear them to the party, and it's like...
Yeah.
And all
to
that...
the party her parents are throwing.
His parents are like...
Yeah, sorry. To the party his parents are throwing. How the fuck can you, like, get sexually turned on at a party your parents are throwing?
And it's... You know what?
I'm sure even the freakiest sex addict is like, yeah, no, that's a no, that's a turn off. It is just repulsive, like,
It is.
the way that this guy
And, like,
behaved.
the fact that it's, like, for charity is like, wow. Like, way to, like, ruin that shit. Like,
What's the charity? Did they
I
ever
don't
say?
know.
Yeah, I don't think it was actually ever said.
maybe it's a charity to, like, fund, like, kinky, like, sexaholics or something.
A charity to cure sexism, to cure sexaholism. Yeah, so that's the kind of stuff that we're getting at the beginning of this. And then, like, after that, for, like, no reason, he's just like, no, I can't take anymore. It's like, okay, well, we can try the weird, freakier, sexy stuff. And then they have sex again, and they bang. Which, again, is the subtitle of this film. And then they bang.
Yep.
But she has a boss at this publishing agency who he is, like, sexually assaulting and sexually harassing, like, women just openly. Like, with, like, the HR department staying 2 feet away from him.
And it's like... It feels like he's specifically, like, I don't know, I haven't seen him, like, sexually assaulting any of the other women, but it's mostly just, like, and
It's just her, yeah.
Yeah, just
Because in
her.
this world, everyone wants the most bland-looking chick on earth. Again, I'm sorry, but, like, she has nothing to her personality. There is nothing interesting about her.
No.
I can't name any hobbies she has. She likes publishing, I guess. Because they say this is her dream job, and it's like, all right, I guess it's your dream job. There's nothing interesting about her. So the only thing I can imagine that would be like getting so many people like infatuated with her would be looks. And like, I don't want
She's
to like.
okay.
She's
looking.
like-
she's not. She's
She
not like
is a nice lady.
Yeah, she is.
That is what she is.
She's not like a totally hot, sexy model or anything like that. So.
And like, so many of these people are billionaires or millionaires that get attracted to her. And it's like, guys, if you want a woman with like zero personality, you could find someone else. It's, I mean, like, even if like very average, okay looking women is your thing that like gets you going, if she doesn't want any part of you, fine. Just say, oh, well, I'm very sorry about that. I'll go and find another one. Because you literally look like half the women in the city. And again, man, this is why I hate these fucking movies. In order to really like criticize it, I have to sound like a piece of shit, horrible human being. Because I don't want to criticize people's looks or anything.
No.
But this is a film in which like there's no reason to like her because of her personality, because of like her intelligence, because of anything she said, because of the way that she behaves, because of her hobbies, because of your shared interest. Literally, the only thing that you could find interesting about her is her looks. It's fine. It's whatever. I mean,
like her name is like so ridiculous. Like Anastasia Steele. Like that is such a.
that is my first OC. The name. If they made a book of baby's first OC names, Anastasia Steele would be right up there. Oh my god. The fact that she isn't like half angel, half demon or some shit. Don't be ashamed. We all had that first OC.
Yeah, no, seriously, I went through that phase.
Have you ever gone back and looked at like old sketchbooks or anything that you had when you were like creating original characters? Like, it's been a while since I found one, but I remember just looking back at like old scripts I had and being like, ew. Oh god, what was I thinking back then?
No, seriously, it's like we all go through that phase.
Don't be ashamed, no.
No, what is a shame is that like you actually like try to make it into a movie.
What is a shame is when you don't grow out of that shit and you turn it into $1 billion franchise. And that's a shame for multiple reasons. So, alright, so she has to go to New York with this guy and Christian Grey doesn't like it. But he's like, well, okay, I understand that I don't control you, I don't own you. You're allowed to do what you want. He's like, okay, well, that's showing some character progress on his part. He then buys the company that she works at. Not even the company, but the company's company. Like, the head people. He then, he's like, well, I understand I can't make you go and do this. 1 second, I have to make a phone call. Buy this company. Get me in touch with her boss. Take away the budget to have the assistant go on the trip to New York. So anyway, I want you to know I'm not trying to control your life. So yeah, again, he's doing creepy, fucked up shit. But he also, okay, so her boss tries to sexually harass her. That storyline lasts for 3 minutes tops. Because, it looks like he's going to sexually harass her. She then goes to Christian Grey, talks about it, and goes, hold on 1 second. Walks into the other room, walks back. He's been fired. It's been resolved. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like whenever something exciting is about to happen, it's resolved, in a second.
This ain't even the worst example of that.
Oh, no, it's not.
We're going to save that one. We're going to save that one. But it's yeah, so it's okay, well, that was going to be a storyline. That storyline is gone. And then she just, gets... She found another squeak toy, our dog. Great.
Yeah. It's not as loud, so don't worry.
So she gets... someone has to take over her position. So since she was the assistant, they were just like, well, you know everything he was doing. Go to this meeting. She goes to the meeting, and there's someone's like, well, we need to just keep investing in the same authors we always have been. And she goes, I'm sorry, Anastasia, you think that you have something to say? What if we tried getting new authors to try and get a wider audience, like the 18 to 30-year-old demographic? They have... there's an audience there. Oh, preposterous. Hold on. I think she has something. Go on. Well, if you look at the internet, the sales on this author's last book sold really well for that age range. And then they walk out of it, and the head guy goes over and is like, that was some really genius work. How would you like to permanently take over this position? I was like... I'm going to suffocate myself on a pillow. Oh my god. This isn't just a story being written by someone who doesn't understand, I
How
don't know,
companies work.
who doesn't understand the BDSM community, sex, relationships, millionaires, who doesn't understand any of this stuff. They also have no idea how, like, the book publishing industry works, or any industry. Because, like, literally, her brilliant idea is, what if we get new audiences? How about the 18 to 30 year olds? Well, if you look at the internet, it shows they buy things. I just summed up for you everything she said to get a job. And not just a job, but like $100,000 a year job. To all you millennials out there who have been struggling your ass off to try and get a decent paying job. Oh, do you not want to burn an effigy of this film?
Oh, yeah.
That is some insulting shit. So, alright. Oh my god. So, she now has that job.
Yay.
That's it. Also, at one point in this film, Christian Grey takes her by the hair salon that he owns, where the woman who sexually assaulted him as a minor, I think he was. Like, maybe he was 18 or something. I don't know. They don't
don't know
actually give
when
an age.
exactly.
They don't give an age, but they do say he was young. But he owns a hair salon where the woman who sexually assaulted him when he was younger and got him into this community works there, and he takes Anastasia by there to get her hair done, and then she discovers pretty much everyone that he has dated has gone to this hair salon. You're like, I don't think that's right. It's like, why? I was like, you don't see this for numerous fucking reasons? She sexually assaulted you when you were younger, and now you're giving her a job. There's a problem there. You take all your girlfriends by there for approval from the woman who sexually assaulted you. Do we really need to explain what? Like, he is so a non-functioning robot. Like, that can't fucking compute the simplest human emotions. That it is stunning to me that, like, anyone would want to be with this guy. Like,
It's like,
it
no one
has
wants
to
to
be
be
for money.
with this guy, no one wants to be with this girl, so in a way, they're kind of meant for each other. I hate saying that,
I
but
guess because they're both the most worthless piece of shit human beings on the planet. That's it. There is, like, I mentioned, like, the only reason that anyone could possibly like Anastasia is for her looks, because, like, she has nothing else to her character. The only thing you can like Christian Grey for is his money. That's it.
I guess he's pretty handsome looking.
I guess he's,
but,
yeah,
like,
alright, I'll give him
I
that.
mean, as far as, like, millionaire guys go, because they can afford, like, to do, like, surgery and, like, have those fancy hairstyles and makeup and shit.
He's fine looking, but he's got that constant, I'm going to murder you look on his face.
Yeah.
I don't know, for some people maybe that's their thing.
Apparently it's Anna's thing.
Again, not kink and shaming anybody out there, but yeah, I can see that being a problem. So, oh my god. So, that's now something that gets brought up and is then forgotten until halfway through this film. And then they introduce in here that Christian Grey's last girlfriend, who looked almost exactly like Anastasia,
Yeah.
went fucking insane, and she looks like she is just like a homeless, like, meth addict just following them around.
You know, like, seriously, like, the first time she goes up to Anna was, like, when she was outside the hair salon
Yeah.
or something, and it's like, I made a joke, it's like, I'm you from the future, don't marry this guy.
You're like, I knew who she was, you did not. So when she popped in, I'm like, are you Anastasia? It's like, yes, and you said, I'm you from the future, don't marry him. I just went, hold on, because I knew who she was. Yeah, you were real close to that. But speaking of other jokes, again, that's all you see of her. She's forgotten for half the fucking film. Then she breaks into Anna's apartment.
And just watches her,
And yeah, like watching them while they sleep. Then she's gone again for half the film again. Then she pops up towards the end, and she pops up, and she just like breaks into Anna's home and holds a gun up to her. And it's like, you're not what he needs. He needs a sub, not just in bed, but in life too. Again, someone who does not understand any of the shit they're talking about.
No, you gotta
Man, our dog is super happy.
Yeah, super hyper. Hyper puppy! Yes.
Wanna get back up here?
I don't think she'll be able to sit still up here. Just let
She
her
is
run
running
around.
in circles. Yeah, so I
just-
apologize everybody for that sound you're gonna hear.
But yeah, it's like, that is not how the BDSM community works. It's like, keep it in the bedroom, leave that out of the public eye. No one else needs to know about that shit.
But no, she's got a gun at her, and then Christian Grey, again, just randomly hanging around in the area, he just bursts through the front door of the security guard, and then he's like, I don't know her fucking name, because nobody's name in here is important unless it's hilariously stupid.
Is it Leela or Leela?
Something like that.
Lena?
Lena, I think it was. But then he just goes, Lena, and then I made the joke, sit girl, bad dog, and then he goes, down,
No,
and then kneel. He
Yeah,
says
kneel.
kneel, and then she kneels and like does this.
And he starts petting her head. It's like, whoa.
I went, and then I just yell out, I was fucking joking. I literally made a joke about him treating her like a dog, and then he goes, kneel, pet, pet, pet. This is written by somebody who thinks that like the BDSM community gives you superpowers or some shit. This dude might as well be the purple man in Jessica Jones. Like, I'm not fucking kidding you. This really feels like if someone watched Jessica Jones and totally misinterpreted it.
Yeah.
Like if someone watched that and was like, oh my god, some rich, handsome guy who has the power to make me do anything he says, that's so hot. That's the perfect relationship. That's really what this feels like. God, the dog is like ramming into the camera, so if you see us like twitch a little bit, that's why. Here, come on, buddy. Come on. I'm gonna pick you up now. Yes. 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 Alright, so where were we before we were so rudely interrupted? Alright, so far in this movie, we have had the two of them get back together. She was sexually harassed by her boss, he got fired, and then she took over the company. He has asked her to marry him. They introduced that he has a crazy ex. They introduced that that he was sexually assaulted as a child, and he doesn't see any problem with that. But then towards the end of this film, he realizes, oh, that crazy lady still is into me. I don't ever want to see her again. That's like maybe 25 minutes worth of film. Mm-hmm. This thing is 2 fucking hours long.
Yeah.
And the reason why, even though I'm describing him doing horrible shit and him still being a horrible human being and her still being a complete blank slate that should get the fuck out of here and just being an awfully written character and nothing in here making sense and terrible dialogue, an hour and a half of this film is just pain. It's just nothing going on. And normally that would be a huge negative to a movie. Here it's a positive, because any moment in which nothing is happening is a moment in which we don't really have to focus on how stupid these people are and how much horrible human beings they are. So I think that really sums up just how much I hated that first film, is that replacing 75% of that first film with filler and nothing really does kind of improve it. This almost feels like it's when they take a novel and they split it into 2 parts and there isn't enough material for 2 parts, so the first part is really bland. But I was listening to reviews from people who actually read the book and they're like, no, this is exactly what happens in the book. And it's like, so the entire, like, how big is that book? Is it like that thick? Like, this feels like if you made a movie adaptation of a pamphlet, of a brochure. And we have not even talked about the dumbest part of this yet.
Oh no.
Here he comes. Dumbest part of this, there's a moment in which Christian Grey is flying his helicopter. And then you see smoke coming out of the helicopter. Oh no, oh no. Cut to Anastasia and Christian's family, because apparently she doesn't have supporting characters, aside from her one roommate and her boyfriend, who are there just to go, why don't you find a man and be happy like us? That's their entire role. They're all there in her apartment, like watching the news, just like, oh no, Christian Grey has gone missing. He is assumed dead. His helicopter went down. There has been no sign of him whatsoever. And just watching this, oh no, oh no. And then the mother's like, we know he's still okay, it's okay. And we're all here for you. We're so happy that you're a part of the family. And like his sister is just like, yes, you're just a part of the family. We love you so much. Oh, I can't believe he's dead. And then like they're watching the news and someone just goes, wait a minute. Reports are coming in that Christian Grey has been found alive, and then the door opens and he walks in. He goes, what are you guys watching? Like, just That's it.
Yeah.
This was like 3 fucking minutes from helicopter goes down, watching the news, he'll be okay. Hey guys, what's up?
And it's like, he's not even like scratched. It's like,
there is blood on the, like, the side of his head. And
but it's like,
did you come straight here from the crash site?
yeah, because like they crashed out in the middle of like the forest, like
it was
in
by the mountains, yeah.
Yeah, it's
and they're
like-
in Seattle.
yeah, like you'd have to like. Maybe BDSM does give you superpowers.
Maybe.
He was able to survive a crash and was able to like.
I have to get this rock off myself. Thank God I know how to like hook up a harney and pulley system. Harney? Damn it, I've screwed up that joke. A harness and a pulley system. Thank you, me. See, because he like straps people into things and like, never mind. Don't visualize that. Anywho. So, yeah, he just shows up and he's got like a little bit of blood inside. He's like, you didn't go to the fucking hospital first, you idiot. But he has to have gone somewhere because the news says it's just been announced that he is still alive. As he's going in, the only way that works is if the news they were watching was from an anchor in front of their building, and the anchor was like, we have no idea where he could be. He could be dead for all we know. His plane crashed and no one's heard anything. Ladies and gentlemen, it turns out that he is perfectly fine. Like, the only explanation is if that news anchor was in front of the building and he didn't get like a news report. He just like turned around and saw him walking into the building. And I was like, oh, hey, everything's cool, everybody. We're not gonna run up to him and try and get an interview. He's probably been through a lot.
And the funny thing is, he was with someone in that helicopter, and no one gave a fuck about her.
Well, she wasn't a billionaire.
No, it's like I seriously thought she died in the not car accident,
The plane crash.
helicopter crash. But then it's like, oh, they have a party for his birthday, and they suddenly cut to her, and she's okay too. It's like,
Yep.
oh, that's
Which
it.
I found out that in the book, that actually wasn't a woman. That was a guy who was also in love with Anastasia.
Oh, of course.
So there was a 4th one in here, and there's like that's one too many.
It's like, how do you know she wasn't in love? Maybe she's a lesbian or some shit. Because apparently Anastasia is so attractive that everybody will fall for her. They'll like change their sexuality to like get with her.
You've gone too far in this joke. Pull the ripcord on that one, hon. She loves my hand more than any other chew toy in the world.
Yeah, she's a hand biter.
She will bite the hand that feeds her. Anywho, God, you little weirdo. She's nom 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 nom. Okay, no one can see you down there, dog. They don't know what you're doing. Anywho, so yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. But to me, that is like the perfect embodiment of what is so bad about this film. It's something could have been done with this. There's a story to be told this, resolved in 3 minutes because they wanted to have Anastasia and Gray just recite the most boring, dull, stupid words back and forth to each other. Because their dialogue is horrendous. It's always been bad in these films. It is shockingly stupid every time they open their mouths. And they always have the exact same tone to them.
Yeah.
It does not matter who they're talking to.
No, it's like, they always seem to talk like this, no matter what.
Anastasia, every word out of her mouth is, Christian, you can't be doing this stuff. Christian, no. And then she gets the job as head of the publishing company, and a friend, I guess, of hers, we don't know if she has connections to anybody, but some random lady just walks in and is like, it's so weird having you in this position. And goes, I know, you don't have to go and get me coffee or anything. Unless you're getting coffee for yourself. I'm like, you talk to everyone like this. Like, the moment when she was like facing the woman who sexually assaulted Christian when he was a kid, just like, you can't be doing this to him. He doesn't want you anymore. He's changing.
And by the way, she like threw her glass of wine in her face in the most most blasé, uninteresting way possible. Just
I don't know. That was a very tense moment for me because that lady had so much Botox in her face. I thought she was just gonna start melting like a wicked witch. Okay, so yeah, this film, it's got all the stuff that I didn't like about the first one in there, but like only a third of it.
But
they didn't replace the 2/3 with anything.
No, that's the thing. It's like, all the bad shit is there, but they just extended it with boring stuff.
Instead of being a mountain of shit, it's shavings off that mountain on styrofoam. It's like, it's still awful, it's still terrible, but at least it's not the mountain of shit.
It's not a mountain of shit, it's like a skid mark of shit. A really, really long skid mark.
It's... The first film was Biff Tannen being thrown into the truck full of manure. This one is someone just shitting their pants. Like, that's what this is. That's my rating system. I give this one, I shit my pants. I said that if you took anything out of context from this review, it was gonna sound bad. There we go. So, alright, folks. Oh, that wrapped it up. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, and it's honestly, it's not the worst film I've seen this year.
It's just very dull.
It's so boring.
And the music that they play during sex is like so not fitting at all.
Nothing is fitting in this. There's some song in here, it's like, even Superwoman needs Superman. And I was like, that applies to neither of you.
No.
Neither of you. You're both NPCs who someone tried to write a backstory to. If this was a video game...
No, I've seen like better fanfics of like NPCs online than this shit. Like,
I was about to say, if you were both in a video game, you'd be the people running the shops, and I thought, no, I've actually seen some good personality in those characters before. That's insulting to shopkeepers. Yeah, this is really, man. These are two of the worst written characters in cinema history. Their dialogue's awful. They have nothing to them. They wanted to there's a moment in which they go into Christian Grey's old room and from like when he was a kid, and not only does he have a photo of the girl he drove crazy like a couple months ago in his child room bedroom. How does that match up? He's got a Chronicles of Riddick poster.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It's like, what the fuck?
And I was just like, wow, nothing says douchebag like a Chronicles of Riddick poster. Not Pitch Black, by the way. Pitch Black would have been okay. Chronicles of Riddick, motherfucker. Alright, that sums this guy up perfectly. Nothing there and just a pure D-bag. So yeah, this film to me, like, again, I hear people trying to defend this by saying, well, you know, it's a female fantasy and women are allowed to have their fantasy films. And it's like, there's a day and age when that might have flown. Women have Star Wars now, okay? Yes. Women have Star Wars and Wonder Woman, alright? Go fuck yourself with this, it's okay to be a woman's fantasy thing. A woman's fantasy does not have to be, I become an object for a rich douchebag. This is fucking insulting to have that be the argument. And for everybody out there, it's like, well, you know, it's women's fantasy in the bedroom. It's like, again, a fucking Tumblr search can come up with better shit than this.
Yes.
God damn. I'm not even throwing out there like the creepy websites too. And I won't, because I know if I name one, people will go, why did you name that site? I'm not going to give too much away. Anywho, yeah, we gotta wrap this up. The battery's about to die, so thank you guys for tuning in. That was the Gauntlet of Garbage. Thank you for sticking with us throughout all of it. I can't believe we got through with it. So coming up in just a few days is the finale to our look back at 2016. I'm sorry, 2017. Wow, I am behind schedule. To our look back at 2017, the worst films of the year. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Bye.
Bye.